Hey everyone, welcome back to Play Casket with another episode of Your Turn with two of your three wonderful hosts, Paraka the Goblin and
Ghost, your co-host.
And Rusty Bones is still kind of sitting out. He's struggling with some bone marrow sickness. Yucky. But he'll come back. He'll be back in no time and give his much needed methodical quips. But let's get into our Your Turn. Today, this whole week wasn't really all that exciting. We had some like neat little releases. Xenoblade 3 released their DLC. Hogwarts released on previous consoles.
Lots of leaks.
Lots of leaks on the Zelda that's coming out here in a week. I think like 12th or something like that. It's coming. Brace yourselves, guys. Pay that extra $70. Yeehaw and stuff like that. I guess. I don't know. I'm playing Advance Wars, so I'm really good right now. But yeah, no, there wasn't much. There's a lot of interesting, good games that just came out, but there wasn't anything to like really chew on. Nothing really that stood out there. Like we need to talk about that. But let's all gather around because the greatest news in history that we can all laugh and stay united together is Kotaku getting blacklisted.
That's all shit on them.
Oh my god. How did this not happen sooner is beyond me. But I feel like it's just because like the people who make these deals are like, yeah. They'll promote us, they'll just be good as long as they give us this. And they just like turned around and be like not paid attention to it.
Well, they're a bunch of smear merchants. I don't know why people I don't know why they were a studio to begin with.
Well, I think it's because they like most companies just saw the amount of reach they had. It's like similar
reach, quote marks,
yeah,
reach.
It's as good of a reach as say like people who use their Google reviews as like an influencer account. I've had like 5 million views on my reviews, and I think you should give me something special. Ma'am, you take 100 pictures of everything. Like, imagine, you know how you've done those reviews, and you just kind of skim through, like, what does the food look like? And you're like, each one of those views count. Imagine that people, like, using that to buffer themselves. You're like, oh my god. You know, like, no. If there's something really cool in a food joint that's like, hey, dude, you need to check out this bathroom. It's, like, made out of deer hair or some bull crap. Just show me the food.
Yeah.
Show me what a building looks like outside, because sometimes... you know, you don't know what it looks like, and show me the food. That's it. You know, that's literally it. Don't do weird shit. You know,
like complain about Bayonetta and how sexist it is and how disgusting it is, and then give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
because you're afraid of losing your review copies.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Tragic all around, but not really. You know what's the funniest part about this whole thing, right? It's been a steamroll. Like Nintendo's like, no more review copies for them, and then they started one journalist did something weird about that, like associating that with like Aero Fighters or something like that in World War II.
So basically, so this whole thing started was because, what is it? They were telling people how to pirate Metroid Dread, and then Nintendo told them to fuck off. So when Tears of the Kingdom was starting to come out, they're like, hey, where's our review copy? Nintendo told them to fuck off. So, yeah, there's that whole thing. But, where was I going with this again?
Like some journalist was like associating that all the blacklisting to World War II or something like that.
Well, I guess one of the journalists, they probably deleted this shit now, basically posted... like, this is what I think about Nintendo, and he posted a American fighter who gunned down German and Japanese planes. It's like, oh yeah, you're so petty. That's like, I'm glad they blacklisted you. Holy shit. Like, it's so unprofessional.
Imagine being so entitled that when you are refused one thing, you immediately put yourself in the high horse where like, I'm not the one in the wrong. You're the Nazis. You're the wrong people. You're the bad people. It's your fault. We're still living in 1940s, and it's because of you. Where's my review copies?
I think all review sites should pay for their copies.
Yeah.
No more free shit.
No, like legitimately, like if you're doing like a promotion, like a hands-on thing, and you're doing a demo of something that's coming out, and you're like, oh yeah, this is my first impression of this game, blah blah blah. Like it's like a weird demo for the journalist. That's different than like review copies for when the game releases. Like you honestly, review copies should never be handed out. You should pay for it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the moment you put your money into it, your investment, your viewpoint changes.
PlayStation Vita. Okay, let me tell you. I have to get this off my chest. Because I remember this. Because today I had to go run around for bullshit at Best Buy. And then this time I have to run around for bullshit at Best Buy. Because, so I bought a Vita. And
Wait, you have feet?
Yeah. Okay, I floated. Okay, but that's not the point. So basically, when I got the 3G Vita, and like a dumbass, and the thing didn't work. So I looked up the forum, and everybody said it was the SIM card. So I got the SIM card, and I got a brand new SIM card, but they said, oh, we don't have it, but this location has it. So I go to that location, and they're like, oh yeah, we do have it, but we're going to charge you for it. Like, no, I drove over here, you guys said you would have it, and I already spent enough money on this bullshit. So they're like, okay, well, if you want one, you could go to a AT&T store. Finally, after that, I went to the AT&T store, and they're like, oh yeah, sorry about that. So they fixed it, but I was like, oh man, this thing was $200 like for this stupid headache. And then it's like $10 a gig, I think. And it's only like a 3 gig or a 5 gig download rate per month.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, so you're paying like at least $30 a month just to like play online and have internet connection. Although it was pretty nice, but that's not the point. The point is that it was a lot of bullshit just to jump through, and then it all would have been forgiven if they had games. Like,
yeah, like honestly, I feel like that's similar to how the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox X is doing right now. And like I know a lot of people are like, oh well, you know, so Nintendo needs to like compete with them. They need to really rally. I'm like, why? Dude, there's nothing on those systems, dude. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing. Even like I can't even warrant for one game. Think about it. Like you're spending $500 for $70 to pay $70 more dollars to play a system.
yeah,
You know, like that's
here's the thing though too.
it's dumb.
The Switch is so cheap that anybody who has an Xbox or a PlayStation has a Switch because it's so
Yeah.
cheap.
And even on that, like people who've been waiting to try to find some of the consoles and stuff, they're not making enough that to a point where I've known a couple people are like just went back to their Switch. Like these guys were like, oh man, I can't wait for the PS5. I'm gonna get myself one. They can't find one. They can't find one. They can't find one. To a point where they're like their morality is like busted. And like, you know what? I'm just gonna play Shovel Knight again. Like and just go back. And like they bought. Ever since then, I know one of them like bought like 30 fucking games for the Switch because they're just like, I'm not buying a PS5 now. Like I'm just not gonna do. Like I think part of it's the addiction of like trying to get all the trophies or the achievement points unlocked so they could feel like they quote unquote played the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they finally fully unlock all of it, they're like, this game has been played and casted aside. Which people really shouldn't be forced to play games they don't enjoy.
Yeah,
Like if you play a game you enjoy, you would play it regardless of the situation. But I've seen so many people now that will buy so many games like, oh, it was fun, then I beat everything. It just stopped, you know, like it's just dumb. But no, it's just like because of all that, like nobody wants to get those systems. Why? You know, like if there was games on there, it would warrant people paying $500 for that system.
yeah.
And why even try that? Nintendo's still dominating in their own sales. This is ridiculous. Like Nintendo's like, no.
Yeah,
Like just no.
so buy a copy, Kotaku. Suck it.
Yeah, basically, buy your own copy. Pay that extra $10 on it, and have you complain about everything because now you actually had to put money into it instead of complain about everything. And go 9 out of 10. Nah, you grow up, dude.
Well, I can't believe more. They're such bullies and like smear merchants too. I don't know why people haven't started banning them in the first place.
dude! they've been going on like this for like since like 2013. That's like 10 solid years. I actually am aware of it, and I'm pretty sure it's gone further beyond that. And I'm probably going to touch a subject that even YouTube still feels like a sore spot. Kotaku won't let go of the weird Gamergate stuff even to this day. Like, all the rest of the people who were quote unquote the Gamergate or whatever boogeyman they were trying to make fun of, like, they're done. They all jagged on off and are playing games elsewhere right now. And they're like, the indie scene's so huge now that they don't have to buy AAA developers and complain about these like weird developers sleeping around and getting journalist points and boosting their scores for stupid reasons. But Kotaku apparently still has a little thorn in their ass about it. It's like, the only people that ever remind me about anything is all the journalists from Kotaku. Like, remember what they did to all of us, and the scars still linger. I'm like,
and that's why nobody goes to you guys.
I'm like, you do know, you just sound like a woman that gets ghosted on Tinder every single day. You know that? Like, it literally sounds like that woman just gets ghosted all the time, and she deserves it. Like, she straight up deserves it. Or it deserves it. Who knows? They might change their gender all the time. Who cares? You know, it's so stupid. Like,
but the other people who did blacklist them too, Ubisoft. I can't remember what they did. Ubisoft blacklisted them.
Wait. Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Okay. How? How's that even?
I can't remember what they did.
How did Ubisoft decide to make a smart move in the sea of stupid moves that they're doing?
Well, if I remember correctly, it was
almost
also
makes
like
me want to buy an Assassin's Creed to promote them. Almost, but Assassin's Creed sucks. So
I think it was also has to do with like, oh, this person isn't represented enough, so this game is the Ubisoft is racist.
Oh my god!
This game came out and it didn't represent these group of people, so they're sexist. Oh, so every game that Ubisoft created, it was just kind of like, oh, I guess it was also a part of Far Cry. Far Cry was kind of what started.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think
part.
that's why. So Ubisoft was like, "Fuck it, you guys aren't reviewing anything anymore because anytime we bring out anything, you just smear the shit out of us. So no more free copies."
Wow, Ubisoft's actually paying attention to something that's a little weird. Maybe it's just because they like pain, so they just want to read what they have to say about it. But that's so ridiculous. Like, it's just bitterness from a bunch of wall hitters that are like hitting their 35s, realize that there's nothing else out there for them except for complaining on Kotaku, and Kotaku is probably on its way out the door anyway. So they're losing their job, they've lost their looks, they've lost their intelligence, they've lost their credibility. What else is there for them? Nothing. Well, they lost their blue check marks, dude. Pay the $8, sweetheart.
It's hilarious because what is it? Vice got axed. Shit. What else got axed?
Vice got axed. I think Pink News got axed. God, a good portion of the CNN like games division got axed.
There's a shopping block.
Dude, I'm surprised they haven't gotten taken down, to be perfectly honest. Like, I am surprised they did not get taken down.
And then, but another company that blacklisted them too was Bethesda. I can't remember what happened, but they basically
all the stupid decisions they make, they still make one that's like phenomenally like awakened, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're like, no, you will not be stupid to us anymore, but we're still gonna release a really buggy game.
I can't remember what it was, but it was they leaked something that was really big that they weren't supposed to. They
took a credibility to the knee.
But it was basically like what is it? Something had like, you're not supposed to leak this basically, and then they're like, oh, we got the spicy stuff which you weren't supposed to leak, and they did it anyways.
Oh my god. So the craving and then just like the stuff like that, it is like the massive craving for internet validation just baffles the ever-loving crap out of me, that you're willing to like sacrifice huge connections to do this stuff. Like, honestly, if anybody, like, is an independent developer and stuff like that is doing something, like, small, and they want us to kind of review it, but, like, keep some of their, like, secrets, I'd rather that happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm down with being able to do that. Granted, we're not that big of a podcast and that big of a YouTube channel. One day we will. Who knows? You know? But it's just, it baffles me how, like, you get to that big, and then you're like, you know what? Fuck the developers, and you hire like the worst possible people, and then when you have companies that goes, hey, why are you doing this to us? They're like, you know what, it's because of other people, I'm the victim here. So, like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid, man.
I'm surprised that Bethesda didn't sue the shit out of them for that, though.
Yeah, Bethesda's so happy. I'm surprised they haven't.
And then the last one was the Final Fantasy 14 team. We're just tired of the bullshit, because I can't remember, but basically they got smeared, and it was basically, oh, don't you think it's kind of weird that there are no black characters in, or it's not like racially diverse in Final Fantasy 14?
It's a Japanese game made by Japanese developers with Japanese fantasy themes with Japanese fantasy worlds. There, I solved the whole damn problem.
They don't understand that.
I know, dude. There was an argument about having Asian representation in a game that doesn't have Asia. Like, there was one that was like really long. It was just like, we need the representation because it's just so good. I'm like, but there's no Asia there. Like, what are you actually asking for? Like, you know, like if we're talking about human or human-like characters on a completely different planet in a completely different world, are you saying that I'm not allowed to relate to any of them until they're green? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, or do they have to be like about 4 feet? Do they have to have big noses? There's only one other race that I can relate to, and I'm not allowed to say that because I apparently will disappear. There's
technical difficulties.
Anyone's noticing what I'm just referencing, apparently. But yeah, like, it's just, it's stupid. Like, basically, we wouldn't have games like Maneater where you play as a shark. There's no sharks that play video games. It doesn't represent any of us. We should not play that game
because I'm not a shark. Yeah.
Yep, can't buy it. Only Megamouth can. You know. And then, like, let's spin it even better. How would you make one gay? No, like, seriously, like, how would you make what's it gonna do? Was it gonna sashay a different way with their swimming? Like, everything that you would do to confirm the shark was gay would be stereotypical.
Yeah.
And being a stereotype is not something they want.
Put a gay kiss scene and say it's the most diverse. It's the first time this has ever happened in history.
Right?
Yeah.
And well, even on top of that, like, then how does that represent gay humans and stuff? You know what I mean? Like, anything that's sexually charged, like, how it's still a shark, you know? Like, how does it even get diverse from that? Like, but that's the stuff that Kotaku wants. That's the stuff that Kotaku's like, this is what gets me going, you know? Like, it's stupid. So now I'm laughing at them because even outside their little weird civil war going on with the Gamergate nonsense, I laughed at them because it was like they were going out of their way to make themselves look even more foolish.
Well, even then though too, like they hate gamers and yet they're reviewing games and they want to cater to gamers. It's like,
you know what? I don't think they wanted to cater to gamers. I think they were reviewing games that they hated games, but they wanted they wanted the notoriety that they're like, I know better than gamers about games. That's how good I am as a reviewer, as a critic. I know more about this stuff than you. Even though you enjoy this stuff, you live this stuff, you thrive off this stuff, I know better than you, and therefore I am superior with what I say, and what I say is apparently true because that's what I see.
Okay, if you're worth anything, you'd start a YouTube channel and you just take off.
No.
They need
if
Kotaku.
if they were worth anything, they wouldn't be working at Kotaku.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. I am worth more than those journalists because I don't work at Kotaku. That alone makes me golden. All right, that alone makes me pristine. I am like, cleanliness is next to godliness, and I am standing right next to his foot. That's how good. Just not working for Kotaku. That's how good I am by that point. You know, even with what 55, maybe 60 subscribers, that's how close I am. There you go. Get fucked, Kotaku. I laugh at you. It's hilarious. I've been watching this stuff from a distance. It is absolute comedy to me. Like, absolute comedy to me. So, what about you? How do you feel about this whole thing?
Only a matter of time. Rest in piss. You won't be missed.
Exactly. Ta-ta. Like, honestly, I can't wait to see people just, like, spam a bunch of journalists, game journalists or scum animation memes on every one of those journalists as soon as they get fired. Just get a whole spam of them. Maybe some end towers, too. Like, that'd be great. Good times are going to be had by all. But we're going to probably wrap that up right there because it was a good time. We're all trashing Kotaku. Kotaku's crying and getting ghosted. And so it's hilarious. It's all hilarious. We all can feel a sense of accomplishment for us today. I'm enjoying this too much. But I would like to thank you all for listening in on our podcast here. If you like our content, feel free to like, subscribe, and of course share, and some button bell thing if you want to get notified and stuff. But as always, we will see you on the other side. Hey everyone, this is Paraka.
And Ghost.
I would like to say thank you for listening to our podcast.
If you like our content, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and share our video with your friends.
You can also follow and support us on other social media such as Minds and Rumble. Links in the description below.